Hey everyone, that is the end of season 1 of the Future of Structures podcast. Thank you very much for listening. We will be back with season 2 in just a few weeks. So it was about 12 months ago I started this show. And I read a book called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. And in the book, he talks about having a minimal viable product or a prototype on some of the projects that you do. So for me, I love listening to podcasts, and I noticed there wasn't one on the building industry that kind of tickled my fancy. Something that dealt with technology and sustainability and, the direction that our cities are heading in. So I thought I'd give it a crack using the lean startup kind of model. So my first podcast, I sent an email out to Anthony Sprigg, who is the CEO of ISCA. And that email was my so-called minimal viable product to, just test out if this project is actually viable. And, I was expecting no reply. And to my horror at the time, he said, yes, no problem, Adam. When can we do the podcast? So from there on, I was like, shit, I've got to get a podcast together and I'll quickly whip something up. And if you listen to the early episodes, it is very, very, very raw and not very good quality, admittedly. So since then, as the podcast has grown a little bit, I've put a little bit more effort into it. And for season 2, I promise to put a lot more energy into the production quality of the interviews and try and get even higher quality interviews than we have now. So that's the promise for season 2. I hope you guys are going to enjoy where the podcast is going. And I'll have some really good and interesting guests to kick off the start of season 2. I've got Tina Perinotto, who's the founder of the Fifth Estate online magazine. I've got Martin Powell, the CEO of the Institute of Structural Engineers, and Alexander LaRue, who is the CEO of WSP with 40,000 employees across 40 countries. So we've got some absolute juggernaut guests to kick it off. And as I said, I do not want to take your attention for granted. So if you would like to contribute to the direction of the show, please, in the show notes, you will see a survey. If you could fill it out, it'll give me some feedback on what you want to listen to and how I can do things better. Or another thing you can do is subscribe to the email list. So there will be regular quarterly email or special reports being sent out. And the next one is on the top 5 technologies that are shaping the buildings industry. So that's it for season 1. I will see you in a couple of weeks.